Your life with me, Reverend Lee Wallach. We're here each and every day at 8 a.m. for your viewing and listening pleasure. And I always look forward to coming and being with you. I look forward to sharing ideas. I look forward to sharing questions. I look forward to hearing what's going on in your life, what's going on in your mind. Because here's what I know is what's going on in your mind is creating your experience. And that's what I posted today in my thought. My thought is that our life is a direct reflection of the consciousness or of the thought patterns that we are holding. And that we have the power by changing our thought patterns, changing our beliefs, to change our life experience and also to change what we attract. Here's what's going on today. We are being bombarded with all these ideas that are causing us to be fearful. And the more fearful we become, the more we attract what we're fearful of. Isn't that sort of a funny thing? The news media, everyone is promoting these ideas of fear. Get this, oh, this. And we get fearful and we become a vibration to it and it affects our lives. Go back 100 years. Go back 100 years. You wouldn't know anything to the degree of what is happening now. And by not knowing anything, your mind would be different, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be in fear of these things that you're fearful of now. Ergo, you would be having a completely different experience in your life. It's the thoughts that come in that we don't, what do I want to say? We don't filter. We don't filter through our mind, through how we look at them. We have opened our minds up and allowed all of this nonsense to fill our mind, and we're letting it affect us, and we have the power to not do that. Where we put our attention determines where we put our thoughts, our words, our emotions, and our actions, and that all attracts back to us. All the great sages, all the great avatars, all the great spiritual leaders, all the great philosophers have been telling that to us for thousands of years. But here's the key. Most people understand it. Most people understand it, but they don't do anything with it. My goodness, isn't that sort of silly? You've got the power, you've got the wisdom, but you're not using it. You're not doing anything with it. Why would that be the case? Rodney, why wouldn't you do something with it? Jordan, why aren't you doing something with it? Annette, why aren't you doing more with it? Kavita, how about you? And Patricia and Marissa and Shelly? Why is it that we won't take the power that's in us and consciously choose to use it? Let me tell you, it's one word. It's the D word. Do you know what the D word is, folks? You have been domesticated. That's right. Just like a dog, just like a cow, just like a cat, just like any animal out there, you've been domesticated to believing that you don't have the power and that you are dependent on something outside of yourself for your life experience. And see, here's the job of life: becoming undomesticated. Thinking for yourself, bringing back the big I. And it's not an iPhone, it's not an iPad, it's not an iMac. It's imagination. What can you imagine for your life? Because until you can imagine something new, nothing new is going to happen. Rhonda's out there and she says, so be wild. Yeah, it depends on who defines what wild is. You know who defines what wild is? The people that want to domesticate you. Because you're not going along with what they want. I put a couple great posts up yesterday night on my Facebook page. Very few people are even commenting. I put up a great song by Meatloaf. I mean, if you don't love the loaf, I got to question whether you like music. But the song is, let me think. A kiss is a terrible thing to waste. Go listen to the song. Get into the song. Find out what the lyrics mean. I'll be talking about that a bit tomorrow because I'm using some of the lyrics in my talk tomorrow for Sunday celebration. But then I also posted the great spiritualist Pink Floyd. The dream is dead, and I have become comfortably numb. What they're saying is you forgot the dream. You've been domesticated by the school systems, by the corporations, by the religions, by the politicians. It's time to claim it back. Shariel says you gotta create in private. Don't share your dreams. Yeah, you're right, Shariel. Only share your dreams with those people you know that are dreaming too, that are willing to support you. You see, here's a key thing. What is love? Love is about supporting and growing each other. That's what relationships are for. So if you're supporting and growing each other, you're honoring everyone's dream, the dream to become more. That's a great relationship. If you're in a relationship and the relationship is about control, you've got a relationship that's domesticating you, or you're domesticating your partner, or the two of you are just domesticated in a domesticating relationship, expecting the other person to do things to please you. That's a laugh. That's an absolute laugh, because you know what? It ain't going to happen. That's why everyone's going through all these problems in relationships, why divorces are so high, why people are so miserable, because they think their partner's their source of joy. No, folks. You are your source of joy, and you bring that joy to the relationship. And then you share that joy when your partner brings that joy to the relationship. I've given up. I gave up years ago. Not that many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, because I'm at 48 years in a marriage. I gave up believing that my wife, Jean, could make me happy. She can't. I've really come to the understanding that the only person that can make me happy is me. What was it? Monday this last week. I don't very often, but I got myself in a little bit of a funk. I got myself in a little bit of a dark place. I wasn't very happy with the fact that I couldn't socialize with people the way I love to socialize. I'm an extrovert. I'm also an introvert, but I love my extrovert side. And I couldn't do it, and I felt myself in a funk. And I had to do the work to get myself out. It wasn't anyone. I thought, well, who can I call? Who can I call? Who can I call? And I realized, wait a second, stop that. It's not who can you call. It's how can you change your focus? How can you change your thoughts? And so I went for a walk. And I just admired nature. I played with my dog, petted my dog. I started cooking something new, something different. I started doing things, because here's the beauty of being human. We can change our physicality. We can take action. And when we take action, oh my God, it can change as long as the action's there. Yeah, Patricia says that she's had to learn to change too. She spent so many years looking for how other people wanted her to live. Man, that sucks. You're always seeking approval, aren't you? That's what happens when you start living for others. You start seeking their approval. And then what do? You subordinate yourself to them. You put them on a pedestal above you, and then eventually they fall from that pedestal and the relationship goes kaboom. Yeah. You should put nobody. Let me repeat that. No, N-O, buddy, B-O-D-Y, on a pedestal. And that includes you. Nobody is better or worse. Nobody is better or worse. We're all individualized. Here's a key thing. We're unique. We're just unique. We're expressing differently, and that's what we were meant to do. We were meant to be unique. And we've got to start to embrace that, because until we do that, oh my God, we're denying our truth. Kavita says, I miss being with people and hugging people. She understands. I wish you were here, Kavita. I'd give you a big, juicy hug. I'd give you all a big hug. All hug is sharing energy. Now, here's the thing. And here's what people say, well, that person sucks my energy out. Whoa. No one can take your energy away unless you give them permission. You get that? No one can take your energy away unless you give them permission. It's how you focus on it. Because guess what? If you're an infinite, individualized expression of divine love, of the whole, of perfection, you're infinite. You've got energy. It's in your human mind that you believe it was sucked out of you. Not really the case. It's not sucked out of you. It's your perception. Everything happens within our minds. And when we become the master of our mind, we become the master of our life. And that's the work, gang. Right there's the work. Becoming the master of your mind and not allowing yourself to go back to those unconscious patterns that you were domesticated into. I feel like that was a good talk today, a good message, a good sharing with you today. Do you? Hit that heart button. Go hit that heart button 1,000 times. Go bing, 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 bing. I love it when people do that. It sends me flying. Why not? Because it's love. Let me tell you something. I have not personally met a lot of you that are watching, but I know who you are because of the energy of your name, the energy of what you put out in the comments section. And so what I do is, because of that energy, I just accept you and I love you just like you are. And when I do that, I give you permission to accept and love me as I am. Think about that and love yourself today, accept yourself today, and accept the others that come into your life. Until tomorrow morning, and we'll be here again tomorrow morning, know that I love you. Have a great day, everybody. Aloha.